What is going on, good people? So I put together this tool for myself, but I thought I would share it just in case anybody finds the need for it. So if you want to use it, great. If not, no problem. But let me first explain who this is actually for. So if you're brand new to cybersecurity, maybe you're looking to get started, you're just getting started, you're trying to land that first job, and you're not quite sure like where to go, what route to get, and you're maybe bumping your head against the wall of, you're applying for different jobs and they want experience, but how are you going to get experience without actually having a job? Well, that's kind of where projects come into play. And projects can allow you to get that hands-on experience, but not only get the experience, you can show employers putting them on, doing your projects and putting them on GitHub, showing them that you can actually do the job. And certifications, cool, great. Going to school, going to college, cool, great. But none of those things show that you can actually do the job. And employers want to know that you can do the job. That's why you'll notice like a lot of people, they might have a whole bunch of certifications. They might have their bachelor's degrees or even master's degrees, but they're still having a hard time getting a job because employers want someone who can do the work. They don't want to hire you and then bring you in and hold your hand and have to teach you everything, right? So projects are a real good way to not only get and learn the skills and the techniques that you need, get the intuition that you need, but also be able to show employers that you can do it. So again, first column here is the different jobs with inside of cybersecurity. So cybersecurity is very, very broad. There's a lot of different paths that you can go in. So these are just some of the paths that you can go. And then to the right of that, you'll see the salary that someone could potentially make getting a job in this field. Now, to the right, this is when things start really getting good, and this is how you make use of this. So to the right of that, these are project objectives. So these project objectives are directly tied to these cybersecurity job titles, meaning these are the objectives or the things the employer is going to want you to know how to do, or that looks really, really good and sets you apart from someone else to do this job, right? And then you have the skill set. These are the skill sets that you're going to be learning, that you're going to be working on, that you're going to be fine tuning by doing these different projects. Now, the next column over here is example projects. These are just example projects that meet these project objectives. Now, you do not have to do these specific projects if you don't want to do them. You can do whatever project you want to do. I encourage you guys to use ChatGPT. You can literally take the project objective, go to ChatGPT and say, hey, ChatGPT, this is the project objective that I want to work on. I want to be able to show employers I can do this thing. Can you help me create a project to put on my GitHub to satisfy this so the employers and the recruiters can see I'm just an awesome person for the job, right? So you can, this is just a sample. You can do this exact project if you want to do. It's up to you, right? And then here's where the gamified part comes into it. So what you're going to do is when it's, first of all, you want to do an inventory check on yourself, right? And when I say do an inventory check on yourself, what's your knowledge and skill set currently based on this particular thing? So on incident response and SOC investigations, you would ask yourself, how much knowledge and what is my current skill set? If you don't have any knowledge, you have no current skill set, then you just leave this empty. If you know what, you kind of know, well, let me actually go to the actually card. So like if you know a little bit, you'd give yourself a 1 star. If you know some more, give yourself a 2 star. If you know it really, really well, then you would give yourself a 3 star. So you're going to go through here and you're going to do an inventory on every single skill set in here. And don't worry about where you're at now. You can always learn, right? Thanks to like Google, ChatGPT, YouTube, different coaches and mentors out there. Like the reason of doing an inventory, this is not to beat yourself up. It's so you can understand where you're at, where your weaknesses, where your flaws, and what areas you need to grow so you can secure the bag and get the job and get the money. That's all this is for. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go through and fill all these out, even if they're all blank, right? Let's say you have a little bit of knowledge, right? So you have a little bit of knowledge about this. Maybe you heard some of these terms, maybe watched a couple of videos, and you're doing pretty good, right? So you'll notice, again, it's gamified. So when you fill these out, you're going to get different points over here. And you don't have to worry about doing any math. It'll do it itself, right? It's set up to do it itself. So if you look at the score here, like let's say, for instance, you're studying on incident response, SOC investigations, you're looking at YouTube's, you're maybe getting some coaching, you're getting some hands-on experience, and your skill set's starting to get better. Your knowledge is getting better. Okay, well, change your star, right? So as you start getting better at these things, right, you're going to start changing your stars. And as you change your stars, what's going to happen is over here to the right, your score is going to go up, right? Your score is going to go up because you're getting better. You're getting the skill sets. You're getting the knowledge. Like these are the things, the skill sets, the knowledge, and the projects. That's what's actually going to get you a job, right? A certification, it might help get you an interview. But if you don't have the skill set, if you don't have the knowledge, you're going to bomb. You're going to bomb the interview. You're going to bomb it, right? And then let's say, once you start going, you're like, okay, I want to get started. I want to actually do some hands-on projects. So then the project, you're going to either you completed the project, right? Or you didn't complete the project, right? And again, when you first start, I would go through, because I don't like seeing, I'm very competitive, right? I don't like seeing empty stuff. It does something. Like my OCD kicks in and I'm like, I don't like seeing like empty stuff. I definitely don't like seeing red. Like I don't like being told no. So like if I come in here, like here's how I'm doing this. All right. I'm coming in here. I'm going to evaluate, okay, what's my skill set and my knowledge on, let's say, incident response and SOC investigations? All right. If I don't have any, I'm leaving it 0. Then I'm going to the next one. What's my skill set and knowledge on threat hunting and detection engineering? If I don't know anything, I'm leaving that 0. If I look like this is going to motivate me to get to work. This is going to motivate me to study. This is going to motivate me to do whatever it takes. So that way I can land a job, I can get the bag, and I can take care of my family. I can do what I want. I can live the lifestyle that I want to live. This drives me. Don't use this as something negative because you don't know the information. First of all, nobody knows everything, right? And you got to start somewhere. So this is not a negative thing. It just shows where you're at. And then as you start getting better, as you start getting the skill sets and the knowledge, you start filling these things out. And guess what happens? You go up in tiers, right? So there's 5 different tiers. You start at either a 1, and the goal is to get to a 5. How do you do that? By working on your skill sets and your knowledge. How do you improve your skill sets and your knowledge? Well, you look at the different projects, the project overviews, the different requirements that the job wants, right? Because they want to know, can you do the job? Period, right? Again, I'm nothing against certifications, nothing against going to school. I have nothing against those things, 0. But they just want to know, can you do the job? And then again, okay, so you go over here, and then it's like the NA over here, like some of these skill sets, like if you're not maybe interested in being a SOC analyst, maybe you're not even interested in doing some of these projects. And that's okay. I would just go through and maybe the ones that you're not interested in, change those, but keep the other ones that no, because you haven't completed it yet. But once you get in here and start completing projects, you'll start noticing, you're going up in tiers. Like this makes me happy. This jacks me up. This shows like I'm actually productive, right? There's certain things that I've seen people do that they're not income producing activities. They're not going to help you get a job. Like there's 2 things that you should be doing. Things that are going to help you get an interview, things that are going to help you pass an interview. Those are the only things that matter. If it doesn't help you get an interview, and if it doesn't help you pass an interview, you're wasting your time. Period, point blank. Everything on here, everything on this list, if you start going through this, if you really apply this, it's going to help you get an interview, and then it's going to help you pass an interview, right? Because to get an interview, maybe you just have a great resume. Like maybe your resume looks great, right? But if you go in there and your resume looks great, but you don't have the skill set and you don't have the knowledge, you're going to bomb. You're not going to get hired, right? So you basically just wasted your time. But so the certifications in the school, like, do all that. If that's the route you want to go, please do all that. This is not about that. This is just simply a tool that you can or cannot use. It's up to you. That in the long run is going to help you get the skill set, get the knowledge, get the hands-on experience. Because I hate when people say this, and I hear this all the time. Well, how am I going to get the experience? Like, to me, that's just a terrible mindset to have. Like, I just don't accept no. Like, I refuse to accept no. So whether it's going to do projects, whether it's doing free work for people, whether it's doing an internship, there's a lot of different ways. You don't have to just do projects. There's a lot of different ways you can get experience. It doesn't have to meaning you have to get a job, right? And again, eventually you'll be to tier 5. So I think you guys get the point. But what I'll do is I'm also going to share with you guys the rules for the game and kind of how it does and how it works, so you guys kind of understand. Because maybe you just are like, what is this crazy black dude talking about? He's talking too fast. He's rambling. I don't understand anything. Well, here's the cybersecurity project game rules that you can just simply follow along. At the end of the day, it's all about doing action. Now, what I'm going to do is in the comment section, I'll share both of these. I'll share this Google Sheet, and I'll share this Google Drive, not Google Drive, Google Doc. The Google Doc is going to be the game rules, and then the actual gamified version of this. It's going to be a read-only copy. So here's what you do. Once you get it, download it, and then you go to File, make a copy, and then save your copy. Once you save your copy, you can do whatever you want to do to it, right? But there's only a read-only. The one you're going to download, it's read-only. Why is it a read-only? Well, because if it's not, then people are just going to go in here and you're going to see what everybody else is doing, right? So it's a read-only. So let me go through it again. I'll go through it a little slower. You're going to go to the top over here. You're going to click on File. Once you click on File, you're going to click on Make a Copy. You're just going to make yourself a copy, right? You just click Make a Copy, right? Once you make a copy, then you'll be able to go in here and change this to yes, to no, and to go to 3 stars, and to see the tiers go up, and to see all that cool stuff, right? So hopefully that made sense. That's all I got. Peace. Go get a job, get to work, get into action. No 0 days.